Hello, Mayor Byers. I'm so glad to meet you, especially on the eve of the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. This probably will be commemorated in the entire world as the end of the most horrible and lethal war in human history. And I would like to get your perspective. What is your take on this anniversary and how it's related to today's event?
Yeah, I mean, 80 years, it's a full lifetime for so many, and as we mark this really important occasion in the midst of ongoing wars around the world, I think it offers an important opportunity to reflect on what type of future we all want. And I know, as I've been able to do so by learning from the stories of the brave people who fought in that war 80 years ago, who now live in the city of West Hollywood, it's remarkable, the legacy and the life that is carried forward, and has really given me an opportunity to reflect on what sort of world we want to be building together.
Russian-speaking veterans used to comprise a big portion of city of West Hollywood. There were several thousands of them, and they were very well organized. My organization, called American Eastern European Council, we assisted them in their activities. So I remember their meetings, how they were structured, and so they fought in the World War II, and then they devoted the rest of their life, being retired, to promote peace and to talk to other community members, to explain what happened there, so the memory would live and would prevent somehow for the future war. So, and most of them are gone by now, and I think they would be horrified to see what is going on today, 80 years later, after this horrible war that probably survivors thought that it would never happen. And now we are in this dangerous situation, and even American president meeting Ukrainian president at the White House said, you are playing with World War III.
Yeah.
So what is your thoughts on how we got to this point from being completely devoted to peace to become in the middle of these conflicts?
Sure, yeah, it's heartbreaking. I remember learning in school that the World War II was the war to end all wars. It was really about sort of setting a new standard for how the world would come together and address crises and differences, and to be in a situation now where it feels like we're barreling so quickly towards an unimaginable future is really painful. It feels like we're doing a tremendous disservice to the lessons of the past. The folks who have fought really hard to ensure that peace is the way forward were tremendously disrupting the road that they have paved for us. And that feels deeply painful to me as somebody who has been a student of nonviolent social movements, who has been a peace activist myself, and somebody who has advocated for a safer world for us all to feel our place in it. To see that being thrown out the window for some really awful reasons is shameful, and it's painful. And I know we're grateful to the legacy of those Russian-speaking veterans who lived in the city of West Hollywood, and the work that you and your organization and many others have done to ensure that there are memorials and events to uplift these stories. And it just feels like we're at a place where all of that work is being really put to shame in some awful ways by our country.
Thank you. And West Hollywood is, I believe, is the only place in the United States where on the city territory they built a monument to Soviet veterans. And I remember this whole project, how it got evolved in the 90s, and the city helped a lot to the Russian veterans in any ways. So we all members of the Russian community value this special relationship, and So how do you see changes in the Russian community that's coming today in the city, and what's their contribution to the city's life, economy?
And the contributions to the city, past and present and future, are tremendous. I know I came from a different state when I moved to West Hollywood and went to Plummer Park and saw that monument. It was a really amazing moment of recognizing who was a part of the city in such a big way and what the city's values were. That monument is a testament to the people we care about and the stories that we're going to continue to value as for many years to come. The Victory Day event that we have held in the city's park in order to uplift these stories, to share this memory, and to recommit ourselves to this fight against fascism, not just here in West Hollywood, but around the world, has been a really big part of my life. And I know last year when I had a chance to sit down with some of the Russian-speaking Soviet veterans and hear their stories over lunch and see pictures of these men and how old they were when they were going off to this war, it really instilled in me a sense of purpose and helping make sure that their stories were amplified back to our community. I know as somebody who was born even after the time the city was founded, I have a responsibility to this next generation to carry those stories forward and to make sure that in all ways the city continues to be a place where the Russian-speaking veteran community especially feels like their stories are remembered and respected and valued.
Thank you. We'll use this opportunity to hear your prospects of how is the city of West Hollywood doing, serving mayor. What is the future? How do you see the future of this city?
Yeah, we're in a really amazing position as a city. The region has struggled in some difficult ways. Small cities in the region have struggled with their budgets and are facing deficits and having to make hard decisions about what type of social services they invest in, what type of community programs they continue. And in the city of West Hollywood, our future is truly prosperous. That's because of a really strong foundation that was built 40 years ago when the city was founded, and a strong commitment to ensuring that the priority resources that our community needs can continue on. We have a healthy budget. We have the ability to continue to grow. We know as folks are aging in their homes and place that there are resources that they need that are different than they may have needed 10, 15 years ago, and we're committed to making sure we can keep delivering on those resources now and into the future. I feel really proud to be mayor at this moment of time. It's a very difficult time in the country, but again, with my background as somebody who's been fortunate to travel to many places in the world to see the way that war has disrupted communities. I traveled to Sarajevo, Bosnia, and got to see these mortar shells take apart apartment buildings and to really understand what it means to have a community devastated by war and left to be rebuilt. It makes me deeply committed to making sure that the city of West Hollywood and our region and our country is really strong and committed to peace, and in all the ways that looks like for a community.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I wish the city to prosper, and all these members of the community are lucky people who live here. And I wish you success in your current position and your future position. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.